We starting a new SCP video. Well, every SCP video that we do is always new. I don't know, I'm just tired. I woke up, I had to record one video today. There's maybe 3 videos that I'm putting out today. I need to start putting my gaming video out, which I said like in my last SCP video, which was yesterday. I said in the comment section and all that. I've been busy. Today, I'm gonna be busy again. I had to go to the gym. I've been going to the gym, man. You know what I mean? Every single day. Except Saturday and Sunday. Those are my break days. But, 2 videos out. This is gonna be one of them. So 3 videos gonna come out. I had to record one of them. And again, I'm sorry. I have another green shot. I'm almost a foot ahead. 80% on my gym clothes. The shirt is green or dark yellow. It's just a gym clothes, you know what I mean? But enough of that. We all like what? 1 minute into the intro. I'm just gonna do this real quick. Best it on YouTube. One of you guys actually recommended this video to me, which was my boy Sign for 45 TY commented. Also, could you please react to SCP-2718? It's one of the most unique SCPs I've ever seen. And I'm positive that you will find it interesting. Here's the link. I am so happy you guys that you put the link. I've been telling everyone that recommending me a video, please put the link. It'd be taking time for me to look the video. If it's the live video, blah blah this, blah blah that. No, I'm just happy you recommend the link to me. And it better be interesting. It better be unique too. If you say it's unique, it has to be unique. Alright, let's just get into the story. Let's see.
We need you to do. Just remember this phrase while you're watching. It's crucial that you don't let these 4 words slip out of your head, even for a split second. You can even pause the video and repeat the sentence to yourself a few times, just to get it to fully sink in.
Okay.
Remember, please, belief is the key. We have all wondered at one point.
What if I don't believe that, huh? What you gonna do?
Or another, what happens after? After our lives draw to their inevitable close and we take our last breath in the land of the living, what happens to us?
What happened to us? We die. We actually are sleeping. Everything is dark. We get buried or burned alive. You're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel you're inside a casket where everything is dark because you legit just sleeping when you die. Let me stop. That was so dark. I'm joking. I don't know. There could be afterlife. There could be, you know, like heaven, which that's what I believe. You know, I believe in God and everything. But hey, everyone has their own belief. I'm just saying it's their own opinion. But hey, it's just a topic where a lot of people doesn't talk. I like talking about it, you know, if it happens, it happens. You know?
It's a question that has baffled scientists and philosophers all over the world for almost as long as human civilization
If you can just die and they come back to life.
What happens after we die? Well, the answer to that particular question normally varies depending on who you choose to ask. There are, as you probably already know, numerous beliefs held by all religions and cultures around the globe.
That's what I said.
There exists an afterlife. While the description of the afterlife is often dependent on the religious or cultural group it is linked to, the concept usually revolves around the soul leaving the body after death and living forever in eternal paradise. That is, of course, unless you've committed sin during your...
Yeah, that's what I said, you know, this is what you believe. This is what pretty much I believe in a way, you know, God and all that. If you do something bad, you obviously gonna go, you know, down place down there. But if you do something good, you know, like there's nothing really too bad. I feel like there's sometimes when you do something bad that's not too bad, where I don't feel like you should like hold accountable, like, you know, people could change. I'm just saying, but let's say you're a serial killer, kill so many people. Oh hell no, you know this is going up there, man. I'm just saying. Okay, you know what you're doing. You know what you were doing.
Which normally results in being sent down to spend eternity in punishment instead of paradise.
Let me stop pausing. Let me continue watching.
There's no way to
but so far, it is interesting.
Actually exist. By their very nature, these afterlives exist separate from the real physical world that we live in, where we are still alive. Stuck here on Earth, we can only observe what we see happening after death, and what we assume it might be like. After all, it's not like a dead person can tell us what being dead is like.
That's what I said.
Under usual circumstances, anyway. With no proof of the afterlife's existence, we do unfortunately get left with the bleak and existentially horrifying assumption that, when we die, there is nothing waiting for us on the other side.
That's a joke that I did in the beginning, but I don't know, it's what you believe.
No light at the end of the tunnel, no pearly gates, just nothing. forever. Of course, being unconscious for eternity isn't quite as bad as the other possibility. What could that other possibility be? Well, according to the SCP Foundation's entry for SCP-2718, you might not want to know. Anyone attempting to access the data file on SCP-2718 will immediately notice a few details that set it apart from others contained in the Foundation's archive.
Oh, we're getting that. You know, so far, my boy's not lying. This is getting interesting. What is... Okay, of course, Genshin Impact. Man, that look fine. I almost look at anime. But still, I'm telling you, if it's not my ad, I'm not going to pay at least a single penny. I'm not sure they have a volume. You're going to skip and mute it, man. Come on, son. If you ever get one my ad, watch the whole thing. Thank you for support. Let's keep it going.
Firstly, an ever-changing SCP number. It perpetually swaps numbers with other files to keep itself hidden. Next, a unique object class that is only found in this entry. Instead of Keter or Euclid or Safe class that you might expect, you'll read Demaron, a German word that loosely translates to either dusk, dawn, twilight, or nightfall. You might also spot the anomaly special containment procedures, mentioning that this page of the SCP database has been specially constructed in such a way that makes it as difficult as possible to access. The entry itself even begs the person reading it not to go any further, not to look at the description of SCP-2718. Now, we all know that the Foundation goes to great lengths to keep some things a secret, but why all the added measures for SCP-2718? It might well be that the information contained behind all this extra security could change
it's gonna like change your mind and everything. You're either gonna go crazy, or you actually know what happens, right?
Lives of anyone that reads it. Or, to put it more accurately, it could change the afterlives of whoever learns what SCP-2718 really is. This anomaly isn't a nightmarish creature or an object with a strange function. It's not an entity from outside
the Scarlet King,
our universe, or even a person with an unusual origin. SCP-2718 is a cognitohazard, a piece of information that poses a direct danger to anyone that is able to understand it. That's why the Foundation has so many pleas to not read it any further. They're not doing that to protect the organization and their secrets, but to try and protect the reader themselves.
All personnel, regardless of clearance, are forbidden to expose themselves to the description of this article under any circumstances.
Man, I don't care. Now stop. I'll let you change the voice.
Do not discuss the existence of this article with any person. No disciplinary action will be necessary, provided you close this article now and clear your browser cache.
Sounds serious, right? So serious, in fact, that anyone trying to learn about SCP-2718 is actively discouraged to do so. Even members of Foundation personnel are offered exemption from punishment if they just do what they're told and turn away. But you still want to know, don't you? Alright, don't say we didn't try our best to warn you. You've ignored all the signs.
Man, hurry up! Just tell me where it is, man!
Into SCP-2718, let me see. To not look at its description or pass that information on to anyone else. No, you just had to keep digging deeper and deeper, didn't you? Searching for the answers you're going to wish you never had gone looking for in the first place. Push far enough through the security measures the Foundation has placed around the SCP-2718 file, and you'll find a transcribed audio recording from none other than a member of the O5 Council. The Councilwoman Miriam Prather, O5-7, speaks to a subordinate, who begins the recording. As it starts, she talks about how the various members of the O5 Council have used various anomalous means and sometimes other SCPs to artificially extend their lifespans. The Council is functionally immortal. Boring, right? Anyone who knows enough about the SCP Foundation already knows that functional immortality is what has kept the O5s in power for so many decades. But what you might not know is that there was one council member who didn't. His name was Roger Sheldon. Despite being offered each of the 19 known methods of extending life that the other overseers have gladly used, Sheldon refused each and every one. Instead, he would often go on vacations away from the Foundation, without announcing his intention to do so. Both doing this and refusing to become immortal in some ways are actions that are now forbidden for any member of the O5 Council, presumably because of Roger. On one of his impromptu trips away, Roger Sheldon died from a stroke. Given that he didn't let anyone know where he was planning on going, he was sadly left to rot after his death. However, Roger possessed an important anomalous artifact in his possession at all times, meaning that the SCP Foundation was keen to recover his body and, by extension, this object. He also had knowledge of a unique keyword, a phrase referred to as a shibboleth, which the other overseers needed to extract from Sheldon. But how do you get information from a dead man? Well, you bring him back to life, of course.
They brought him back to life?
And we're not talking about the normal kind of resurrection the Foundation often indulges in, which is really just glorified cloning.
Okay.
This is the ripping of an
actually
actual soul back from the void. And
it's getting good, okay.
Inside its body once more, so it can live again as it once did. Eventually, after 14 years of searching, Roger Sheldon's remains were exhumed and then returned to the Foundation. There, his personal belongings were recovered, including the mysterious artifact.
Won't it be
then,
like
just
bones?
as planned, they revived Roger in order to recover the shibboleth from his memory. The O5 Council had commissioned the creation of a brand new body for Roger.
That's what I was gonna say.
Perfectly matched his old one in every conceivable detail, and it worked. What was odd was that the formerly deceased overseer,
remember everything. That's what they call it, SCP-2718.
who refused to extend his lifespan and live forever, seemed overjoyed to be brought back from the dead. The resurrection seemed to work exactly as intended, even better in fact, with Roger now firmly back among the living.
You want to be
he appeared
immortal?
to have a newfound interest in preserving human life and empathy for others that he'd never shown before. Sheldon was concerned about personnel safety and containment protocols in a way he hadn't been before his stroke.
My boy,
But this apparent compassion was underscored by something else. Caution. Roger never went anywhere without an entourage of medical staff and bodyguards, almost frightened of how fragile life was. You might think there's nothing too alarming about this,
but they like, can you like get the immortality thing and all that? My thing is about to die. We have to do this quick. I'm about to run out of gigabytes too, like my recording and everything. I'm about to run out, so we're gonna continue. I'm gonna try to pause in less, but
behavior that maybe death had given Sheldon a new perspective. An appreciation for the delicate nature of human life.
But this is unique. This is actually interesting.
It was an unprecedented fear, a phobia of allowing people, anyone, to die.
Oh, we getting all that, man. Yo, why you? I don't care about D&D and all that, man. Just hurry up, man. Oh man, let me continue. There you go. You guys already know my thingy. At least pay me a single penny, but.
Then came Roger Sheldon's most unpredictable course of action. Acting against all regulations and Foundation protocols, he secretly rushed into the containment chamber of SCP-106. This anomaly is a humanoid that secretes a black cube from its body.
What they said was 106. I know 106, the old man.
Of dragging human beings into a pocket dimension that it controls 106, the old man.
Come on.
Sheldon was trying to make some kind of bargain with SCP-106 when he was detained by Miriam Prather. When told to explain his actions, Roger Sheldon eventually gave them his horrifying testimony. The reason he'd been so afraid and so cautious after his resurrection. He knew what happened after death. Cast your mind back to the start of this video. All that talk about afterlives and what really happens to us after we die. Well, there is one answer to that question that doesn't often cross people's minds. In fact, everyone who ponders the question, what happens after, subconsciously tries to overlook it, because to even think it's possible presents a whole horde of horrors in itself. What could be such a terrifying thought that we all hope it simply isn't true? It's the simple,
especially when he wants to talk to 106,
horrible possibility that has hardly occurred to anyone throughout human history. That the dead remain conscious after their bodies have shut down. They remain aware of everything that happens to them. They are able to feel themselves slowly decaying, bones and skin withering away, buried under the cold, wasting away into nothingness day after day. That is what SCP-2718 is. After suffering his stroke, Roger Sheldon explained how he could still feel everything happening to him. Skin blistered and split in the sunlight. Biting insects descended rapidly. I felt eggs hatch, larvae crawl, gases build and burst within me. Individual cells rupturing, interstitial fluids souring and blackening. Somehow my capacity to experience and store these sensations grew. I was aware of every fingernail and strand of hair that pulled away in the wind. He went on describing every horror he'd experienced in lurid detail as his body broke down in real time, knowing that those same images and thoughts would never leave his head. Shocked by the revelation, Miriam and the other overseer rushed to hold a meeting of the rest of the O5 Council, wherein Roger once again described his posthumous experience. Hearing what happens after death drove every council member mad, each reacting with shock, stress, and anger. One of them tried to calm the rest down, while another motioned to treat death itself as a Keter-class SCP and neutralize it. The chaos was eventually quelled when O5-1 silenced the other O5s, activating Emergency Protocol 17 to gas the overseers with amnestics to wipe their memories of what they had learned. Only Roger and -7 were able to escape the room before the bulkhead sealed and the gas was deployed. Roger believed that people had a right to know about SCP-2718. Agreeing with him, Miriam created a log of all she knew about what happens after death, then permanently locking it within the SCP database, protected from ever being deleted or having its description altered. However, on the orders of O5-1, Miriam was gunned down by Foundation personnel, leaving Roger to escape. Presumably, he returned to SCP-106, agreeing to be tortured forever in the creature's pocket dimension. To him, that was preferable to dying. So if you now know what SCP...
What? Yo, they just what? Really? Really? Damn, that's tough. Even though, yo, that's tough. I know you kill 5 council, you know, like they could contaminate. Like Dr. Bright Dad, or there's more.
2718 is.
Like Dr. Bright Dad.
Why did we start this video with the phrase "belief is the key"? Well, as we said earlier, this anomaly is a cognito hazard. It's a phenomenon that only occurs after you are exposed to a certain piece of information. That knowledge is what's being contained here, within the entry left by O5-7. You see, it's actually knowing what happens to you after death that makes SCP-2718 happen. If you spend your life believing in a version of the afterlife, only to then learn about SCP-2718, then that information will override.
Hell no, man! I still believe my own thing, boy. This is BS. I'm almost in the word, boy, you know what I mean?
For religion, culture, or faith led you to believe about death. Knowing about SCP-2718 overwrites your afterlife.
And I mean the O5 counselor, it's happening to her, like, not this thing.
It's a new, endless, and meaningless pain as you experience every sensation beyond your death. Decay, decomposition,
hell nah, son.
That's the reason that belief is the key. Because once you are exposed to it, SCP-2718 becomes what happens after you die. In our defense, we warned you. Now go check out SCP-2935 Death and SCP-657 Death Predicting Man for more.
That was good. I like that. I like that. That was good. Okay, guys. All right. That was pretty good. I like that. What was it, my boy? What was your name again? Sid is Sign 45. Thank you. I like that. That was pretty good. I like it. But guys, I know this means I have to conclude my video right now. Guys, you know, hit the subscribe button. Go to 5,000 subscribers. Come on, guys. I know we're gonna make it there. We're like almost halfway there. Hit the like button too. You know, supposed to be even more. Turn the bell notifications on the early game, which means you can be in the comment section first. What brings me into the comment section because when we get to play, does not have to be a Roblox game. You can make a video to react to, but please leave the link down in the comment section to be easy for me to find. Or you can be like, hi, how you doing? I will always try to reply back to you guys. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's your boy Flame. Ow.